Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here in the port looking at Lev Galler. He's inspired by Andrew Cunningham, Paolo di Ravel, and he is the oddest base trade for a battleship commander. I really think that ought to be in the Royal Navy battleship commanders, but what do I know? Flaming Arrow, and I never use it. We're using flammable cannoneer, gyrating drill bits, marksmanship, and reaching out XXL. And the legendary skill is fight fire with fire. Galler is really only a good commander for a couple of ships. One of them is the Poltava. You can see here we've got aiming systems mod 1, damage control system mod 2, and target acquisition system mod 1. Pretty standard setup for a battleship with 3 mod slots. As far as the loadout goes, we have 3 damage cons, 2 repair parties, 4 catapult fighters. Again, I don't think the other ones are any good for this ship. And the epic battle booster for the range boost of 3%. We've got the permanent camo. Again, a very odd camo scheme on this ship, and the founder's flag. We have just over 59,000 hit points, 33% torpedo reduction. Here's what you came for: 18-kilometer firing range, reload in 26.5 seconds, and they turn in 34.6 seconds. It does have a good fire setting chance, but at the end of the day, you look at the AP shell damage, and that's the bread and butter for the Poltava. Maneuverability, poor. Concealment, poor. Looking at the armor viewer, you can see the Citadel basically right where the camouflage is. So if you're fighting it, your broadside, just shoot for the camo. Right above the waterline, there is part of the Citadel. When you add the bow armor back on, it does have a pretty long bow. So, like a lot of other Russian battleships, you got to put your nose toward the bad guy in order to stay alive. This screen is virtually worthless, so ignore it. All right, we're doing a standard battle. And the Poltava, if you love Russian battleships, I think it's a good buy. Um, if you're looking for a tier 6 premium battleship that can carry matches, that is not the Poltava. It's not. And I like Russian battleships, and it's not, in my opinion. We're going to be here on North. And as you can see, we start off with the very best spawn, especially for this battleship. You'll see it load in here in a minute, but it's the spawn everyone loves. And yes, it's the middle spawn. Looking at the teams, thankfully I don't see any community contributors to make me look like an idiot, so this game's good to record at that point. So when the battle starts off, I really don't enjoy going into the middle unless I have a very stealthy ship. So I'm doing what everyone loves to hate, battleship in reverse. I do that because when I aggressively accelerate and turn, oftentimes another ship and I will collide. And so to be a gentleman, I back up first, let them get going, and then go on my way here. So I will cover the destroyer into B as long as I can, but Me staying here is not an option. Me going forward into B is not an option. At least not in my opinion. Um, Here we see, I think it's a good eyes now. I'm trying to get that locked on. He's giving me some good side, so we're going to take it. Just two out of the three batteries, and then we'll turn to get the third battery on target. But almost 10K from the first two batteries, and then the third battery makes it 17K. So I'll take that. That's pretty legit. And I quick popped that off because our destroyer backed off and lost sight of him. And it looks like I got some hits there too. So up to 21K. I threw out that last speculative shot towards the Surrey, but now I have to turn because the island here, and so I think I bounced a couple off him. A couple more at the Geniza now. He popped back up. Why not? And nah, I mean that wasn't so hot. So the Poltava is definitely a change from the other Russian battleships. Not in terms of its armor layout and why you want to avoid showing broadside, but in that is it is more adept at long range gameplay. Most Russian battleships, you want them to get to that mid range. Some of the lower tiers, it's okay to be even close range. I would say the Nikolai is a close range ship. But most Russian battleships are really comfortable in that 10 to 15 kilometer standoff range, maybe a little bit closer down to 8. But the Poltava is not one of those ships. It does not excel at mid to close range combat. So here I'm seeing a bunch of smoke screens. A destroyer pops up. I think there was another destroyer, as you can see the outline of on the map. So I'm like, this is the danger zone. My name's not Sterling Archer, so I don't want anything to do with that. As you can see, the wall of skill is headed my way. And like most Russian battleships, this doesn't turn well. It doesn't accelerate well. It doesn't do anything fast. So we're turning now. My original plan was to kind of scrape by this island and use that to block a lot of the torpedoes, but I didn't necessarily manage my direction very well because I'm greedy and I wanted to see if I could get a shot off at them. So this doesn't look great. Um, but then thankfully they ran out of juice, so I was pretty relieved. It would have been a really short video. I think here I tried to get one more shot at that D61, but this is all no bueno over there. So I'm getting out of Dodge after this. I don't know what the Russian term for getting out of Dodge is, but whatever it is, we're doing it. And again, look at this tremendous turning circle. It's like the circumference of the sun. That's how long it takes for this thing to turn. A tandem 18-wheeler doesn't turn this bad. It may be the worst turning circle in the game. I don't know. It may be. I don't do homework before I start these things, so Yamato maybe might be worse, but this is pretty horrendous. So while we're killing all the sea life with the shock wave underwater of that turn, I am trying to get those guns back around, try to get some targets. Unfortunately, I can't shoot at the Akatsuki because he's behind the island. There's another closer destroyer who just spotted me. I mean, this is really everything I could ask for in this battleship, right? So, um, I can't even shoot at the Akatsuki because he went down. So really, I'm turning in a little bit here to give me a little bit of wiggle room, I guess, in case um, he did launch. But then because nothing's coming up and the the cruiser magnanimously decided to go between myself and the enemy. I turned back out here because the Gneisenau, our old friend, is coming back towards B. And there's another wall of skill, and thankfully I am headed in the right direction with enough forward momentum to get away from all that. I do land some pretty good hits on the destroyer, including starting a fire that he immediately put out. And more torpedoes. I mean, you could run to the destroyer on the backs of all those torpedoes. Good grief. And the sacrifice was well received. Thank you, my friend. And I finish off that T-61, which is a very dangerous destroyer, so I'm happy to be rid of him. And I see the Gneisenau here. I don't know if I'm going to get my guns over him on time. But there's also a Miyoko headed this way. And the Gneisenau goes down, so I'm going to shoot at the Miyoko. And I was pretty hopeful when I first saw this that he would get hit pretty hard. But he didn't. I don't know if I didn't zoom in there, so I don't know where the shells impacted or if he slowed down or sped up. I just don't know. So, meanwhile, to our starboard side, the right side of the map, that's all bad over there. There's at least a destroyer, a cruiser, and a battleship. I made the Miyoko pay, but now I'm receiving fire from, I think it's a Gangut, it's a Russian battleship that's to my right. I just don't remember which one it is. But now I got blood in my eyes because this Miyoko, I already citadel them, so I'm pretty intent on finishing them off. And our destroyer sent some torpedoes back here. I don't know if that was for me or someone else. And originally I was like, why did you shoot torpedoes at me? But I think you'll see on the mini map their other destroyer will pop up here. So when I saw that, I was very appreciative. I think here I'm going to try and fail to kill this Miyoko. Thank you, Russian dispersion. I don't know why those shells had to land in a bracketing pattern around him, but they did. And I haven't even used a damage con to this point, so I feel pretty fortunate. We're at 68,000. I haven't used a damage con yet because I only have 3 of them. With Galler and the skill tree selections I made, you only have 3. He does have volunteer, which would have given me an extra damage con at a high enough level to give me 2. But again, with this build, you have to kind of maximize all the long range stuff. So, having learned my lesson, I line up a great shot, and the Miyoko gets torped. Sorry, it's a sign-up. That's who was shooting me from behind. But there's an island between me and him. Meanwhile, this is a pretty harrowing sequence here. I've got 2 cruisers off my port side. I've got an Akatsuki lobbing torpedoes at my stern. He's also hitting me with HE as well. And I've got the Synop behind an island, and he just came out from behind the island. So at first I'm trying to take out the Surrey, simply because I've dodged the Akatsuki's torpedoes. And for now, that'll be fine. And again, I guess maybe I'm too distracted. Oh, I didn't realize there was another destroyer back there. So I got 2 destroyers, a battleship, and at least 1 cruiser, all shooting at me. And right about now, I'll be honest with you, friends, I did not have high hopes that this match was going to be one worth using as a video because we're kind of up against it, right? We're attracting a lot of fire. We're on fire. I do start using my damage cons. I start using my heals. So right now, snapshot this. It's 4-5. The bad guys are winning. My ship is on fire. I have one damage con and one heal left. And I'm being shot at by the Synop, the Gade, the Akatsuki, and the Suri. So I shoot at the Gangoot. I don't really have, or the Synop. I didn't really have high hopes, but I did hit him pretty hard that time. So I'll take it. But I'm really trying to get rid of the Suri because he's been pretty effective at setting me on fire. And thankfully, this is like an unsung play that helped me out. Whoever the guy in the destroyers that came back and set that smoke screen for me. Thank you, man. You hooked me up because that smoke screen kept the sign up from shooting at me and allowed me to get around here. And I don't even think I killed the Gata, but it allows me. I mean, come on, that guy's that Arak Hatsuki is like the unsung MVP of this game because he smoke screened and then he killed the Gata. He totally hooked me up, took the load off me. I don't have the sign up shooting at me immediately right now. And so this last cruiser, the Nuremberg, I'm going to be shooting at him. I don't know where the Akatsuki is. And I think we have a couple other ships left. I don't, quite frankly, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe engaging this Nuremberg from range. And I'm out of health. I'm out of heals. I got one damage con left. But I'm lining them up for some good shots, kind of checking the map. And then the Akatsuki starts throwing torpedoes at the sign up. And so I'm going to swing around here and throw one at the sign up. He just took a torp. We are on fire. We're burning. And then I'm going to try to get my guns back around on this Nuremberg and finish him off. And we still get the Akatsuki out there somewhere. Looks like he might be capping A. And there are two ships of ours in A. So hopefully that doesn't go well. But that goes well. I take out the Nuremberg. And I'll be quite honest with you, with less than 5,000 hit points, I felt pretty certain that we were going to be, that I was going to be killed, and we might win the game, but look at all the health the sign-up has. And, you know, again, the Akatsuki is lighting them up. I asked these guys for help because they killed the destroyer. Just anything to distract the sign-up, to make him change course, to make him stop shooting at me. And we'll have 532 hit points. And he turns broadside, and buddy, you just made the mistake of your life. And I will take it. He's got to be pretty pissed. So as we go through the pitiful helpings of steel that I get for such an awesome performance, we finished him off. We got a Confederate, a Dreadnought, a Devastating Strike, High Caliber, 3 kills, 136,000 damage, and over 500,000 silver. Top of the board, in a win, put in the bank. If you like long-range Russian battleships, this is one of the few of them